This podcast is part of the Everyday Heroes Podcast Network, the network for first responders and those who support them.
Wow. This is a monumental
Big
Scissors
day.
and Scrubs
Big
episode.
day.
Laura, what day is it?
It's our 100th episode.
Bum, bum, bum.
Mm-hmm.
We have talked everybody's ear off
For
100 times. We've had 100 ridiculous things to tell people.
Mm-hmm. It's
So-
unreal.
When I was kind of thinking what the hell are we going to do for this episode, I looked up some statistics.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been having mic issues, not Mike the editor, but Mike like microphone issues, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about in an email later.
Mm-hmm.
It's been going on for 100 episodes, and yet,
Yeah.
so we're trying it new. So I can't really see my notes as I'm talking to you because
Yeah.
I have to keep my face close to the microphone.
Right.
All right, Laura, you ready?
Yeah.
Less than 20% of the podcasts that have launched this year will make it to next year.
Wow.
Yes. Most podcasts failed, known as pod faded.
Ooh.
Out of 540,000 podcasts have pod faded by the 7th episode.
What?
Yes. So, that was from amplifiedmedia.com and Slam Agency. I'm like, what did I write?
Slam
I still
Agency.
can't read what I wrote 100 episodes later.
100
You think I'd have
episodes in.
I think it's time for us to get an intern when we can actually afford it. Maybe when we stop making money.
Well, a
'cause
lot of
100
interns-
episodes in, we're still not making money on this podcast.
Yeah. A lot of interns don't get paid.
True.
They can just write it on their resume.
True.
Yeah.
maybe we
Let's
should
do that. Anybody need a free, non-paid internship on
Would
a
love it.
podcast?
And you might actually get better episodes.
That I'm pretty impressed with us.
I mean, most fade by the 7th episode. So here we are. How many years? Was it 4 years? When did we start? 2018?
Is it 4?
2019 was 1. 2020 was 2. 2021 is 3. This is our 4th year.
Wow.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that.
No.
No.
Because I have a lot of fun doing it.
No, I do too.
I have a ton of fun doing it.
But I can't believe that. All right.
Yeah, we were getting ready to write up our episodes. I'm like, oh my God, Laura, this is our 100th. Like, our 100th is coming up. What do we do? What should we do? So we did a little Carvel cookie
Ice cream cake?
ice cream cake
Mhm.
because I love them.
Me too.
I mean, it was no cookie puss. I really should have gotten a cookie puss
That would have
for the
been nice.
occasion,
Yeah.
or Fudgy the Whale, but they didn't have those.
Ooh, I love Fudgy the Whale.
Oh,
Mm.
just ice cream and those chocolate crunchies.
Those chocolate crunchies are like
The best.
the best. They used to be at Carvel in Malden. You could go down and just get an ice cream cone,
Oh.
and they would put the chocolate crunch on the ice cream cone.
So speaking of ice cream cones,
Mhm.
I won a raffle. I got an office chair, and with my office chair came a gift certificate to Sea Level in Salem and Cookie Monster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
love
went to
it.
Cookie Monster and I had the Cookie Quake.
Which
Have you had
one's
the
that?
Cookie Quake?
No.
They take one of the fresh baked cookies and they crumble it in the ice cream, and then they mix it all up with Blizzard.
Ooh,
Holy shit! Holy shit!
that sounds delicious.
I was like dreaming about it the next day. So there's still money on the gift card. I'll be going back for
Oh.
Cookie Quake. I got the chocolate chip with the salted caramel
Yes.
cookie. Holy shit, it was
Yeah.
fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I love those.
So we figured for 100th episode, it's not going to be a terribly long episode. We're just going to rehash over the years
What we've learned
what
over
we've
the past
learned,
100
what we
episodes.
didn't learned.
Mhm.
Do you know what episode I hated myself in?
I'm waiting to hear this because you said
Mindhunter. The interview. Fucking hate interviewing.
we're not really interviewers.
No. I
No.
got too excited. You know what the hell? I kept interrupting. I was ridiculous. And then
You're
I'm
an
all-
interrupter.
I'm an interrupter. It's what I do because I get too excited.
I know.
Though of all the things we've done, that was the coolest thing.
I mean, it was really cool.
The coolest things we've ever
Yeah,
done.
I'll have to go back and listen to that one because I don't like.
I won't listen to it again because I hate
You
how
hate
I
it.
am in the episode.
I don't remember like how the episode like came out. I just remember being there interviewing her.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, we interviewed
Ann Burgess.
Ann Burgess, who
Dr. Ann Burgess.
Dr. Ann Burgess, who the show Mindhunter is based like.
Wendy Carr is based on her.
Yeah. So we went and interviewed her. She was a nurse, right?
Yeah.
And then she got her doctorate, and she teaches at Boston College still.
And she's brought in like forensic nursing. She helped
Yeah.
come up with the term serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
She helped with the what is it called? There's like a
Oh, the
rating
yes.
that they have. She helped with the rating.
Mhm.
She's like in her 80s and she's still sharp as a
Yeah. And she remembered everything.
Yes.
And she's telling us about all these cases. Well, do you want to hear about this? Well, do you
Yeah.
want to hear about that? Yeah, we do.
What I'd give to get in her fucking files.
I
man.
know.
I know it sounds dirty, but what I'd give to get in her files. Woo!
That was really cool.
She's a name dropper.
Yeah.
But that was one of the coolest things we did in the 100 episodes.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And then I was looking at my top choices that I liked.
Okay.
Now I know we like Coconut Grove, but
That is my number one.
I think my number one, because I had the most fun researching it and even more fun telling it, was Burke and Hare.
Oh, yeah.
I loved the Burke and Hare.
Yeah.
T-chest off the dog knocks. That was my favorite.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Number 2 for me was the President's episode when we talked about all the ailments the president.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good
I
one.
listened to that not that long ago. George Washington with his carbuncle on his face. I was like, I was hysterical laughing all over again by myself. And I still can't get enough of the cougar, sharks, and bears because I love the bear story.
Yeah.
I couldn't, and all the shark stories too, but I was like.
So I'm talking to my friend Jess today. I was talking to a bunch of them and I said something. I was like, well, it's the 100th episode. They're like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, they're like, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, just like, other episodes. Well, episodes we like, episodes we didn't like or whatever. And Jess was like, I love the animal ones. The animal attack ones are the ones I love. I love those ones
on the series.
I'm like, okay. She's like, I learned so much. That bear story and that woman, and she was feeding the bears, and then they ate her. It was the best story. And I have my nephew listen, and so he knows what to do with the animals. Do I lay down with this one or do I run with this one? She's like, I love the animal ones.
I love the animals. And I'm telling you, a part of me this summer wants to do another sharks, bears. And,
yeah, we can.
Because
there's
more.
So it happens all the time.
It happens. I think Mike just sent me one.
Yeah.
In Montana, another bear attack.
But the kids from here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're constant.
Yeah.
And then we got another one too. Where are we sending each other these weird little things?
I know.
People falling off a shed, people falling off the wall. I mean, I do love the series.
I do like the summer series.
I get all excited. So there might be some revisiting of some old topics, but with new stories behind them. Because there's some good stories in there.
Yeah. I think I like the summer series ones. I loved the Coconut Grove Station nightclub, but that's my favorite. We did the good Katrina research on it.
Yeah.
Katrina was like, my number 2. And then I don't know. I guess the summer series ones.
I love the summer series. I think
they're just fun.
Most people will come up and tell me the 16 tons episode. That's the penis episode.
I find that funny because that is one of my least favorite episodes.
It's constant. I'm like, all the things we've done. You remember us first penises?
I know.
All right, whatever.
I don't know. I think maybe because it's just so like
that in the first episode. They like.
I like I was gonna say in the first episode is like up there.
But they were only. I mean, everyone's like, you should do more of that. I'm like, how many stories do you think I have?
I know
to tell.
I know.
There's only so many, and as they come in, we tell them.
Right during another episode,
like me changing in the hallway.
Yeah, that was
the locker room.
Yeah. We still walk through there and people are like, I don't understand how she thought this was the locker room.
I still see the nursing assistant that walked through and I was like, oh, hey, yeah, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but how did she think this? I'm like, I don't know. I was
in a hurry and I was covered in blood. I was in a hurry and I just was like, let me get these stupid things off. I'm a skimmer. We've discussed this.
We have discussed this.
I am a skimmer.
Yeah.
And what's even more embarrassing is our boss tends to watch our TikToks and makes comments on them.
Constantly.
I'm like, oh, my boss is watching these now.
Yeah, then he'll repeat them back to us.
Yes. Yeah.
It's fun. I find that like
I cringy
having
to make those TikToks, but people like they're a big hit. I almost feel like we should make more of them. They're a big hit, and then we'll walk the hallways, and people are like, I like the reels. They're funny. Yeah, great.
I walked outside in my driveway yesterday. My neighbor's out in her driveway. She's like, I loved the video, and I was like, what? And she's like, the video. I love the video. And I'm like, video? I'm like, oh, do you mean on like Facebook or Instagram? She's like, yeah, I thought it was going to be like a video of the kids, but it was you. I'm like, yeah.
Us narcissistic psychos.
It's us. Yeah.
So here we are 100 episodes later, still not making a dime on this podcast.
No.
Bless.
No.
And I look at all these, like, I was listening to one, and they were already like out of the gate on Patreon. Out of the gate, you have to pay to listen to them. And you should get me for free.
I mean, really, this is a service. We're giving you a service.
We're giving you a PSA announcement bi-weekly.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you pay for this.
No. No one's going to. I mean, who's going to pay for it?
No. My mother, your mother.
Right. My cousins.
my friends.
Yeah. I'm like, why? Why are we doing that?
So we went to see Teresa Caputo last night, and she's over here talking to these people about their tragic lives, and I'm sitting in there thinking, how long is it going to be before we could fill this auditorium for us? We could fill this. Like, it might be. We're going to get here someday. And some woman's like, and my kid was on the ventilator, and my husband died. And I'm like, I could fill at least the bottom.
Maybe not the balcony. We'll just shut the balcony.
Not right. And I'm going to wear whatever she wore on stage. I'm telling you, I'm going to grow my hair out. I'm going to put on those shoes.
You don't need to grow your hair. That's a wig.
Oh, I wonder sometimes with her because...
That is a hairpiece.
I wonder.
That is not her hair.
She's always had that same helmet head from day one. She just has it longer.
It's
pieces,
definitely extensions.
But that top is all
I'm not saying she has hair, but I
believe that. But the top is all that helmet.
Yeah.
And those nails.
Mm-hmm.
The shoes. I did like the shoes.
I liked her dress too.
And I liked her dress. It was forgiving.
Yeah.
It was a very forgiving dress.
It was. Very nice.
So I was looking at some of the reviews we've had too on iTunes.
Yeah.
Some of those are people love us.
It's funny.
The people who like us love us.
Yeah, I mean,
if you can find us,
our little niche we found. Those people do seem to enjoy us for some reason.
It's shocking, but they do.
I know.
So we had a couple of emails actually, because one of the reviews, I'm going to read it because it made me laugh because this woman just yells at us. We haven't, thank God, yet hit any wicked negative review yet. I'm sure it's coming. I guess that's when we know we've made it big.
Any day now.
But this woman just yells at us for yelling in the mic. So I'm going to read hers, and then I'm going to read the email we get because they're complete opposite. And that's what makes me laugh. So just give me a second to find her yelling at us about why are we screaming in the microphones. Oh, here we go. I love the show and the content. However, could you not yell into the mic? The loud talking and screaming is a little rough on the ears when you're listening with headphones. So then we get this one. Okay, so that's one stream. Hello, I'm a huge fan and love listening to you two banter back and forth. Well, thank you. I love a good banter. Both of you are hilarious and provide a unique and somehow refreshing view to the profession of nursing for me. We wonder how it's refreshing for us, too.
It's really
We've been chewing on this shit for 30 years. I do want to say that a few of your episodes have some bizarre sound quality. All 100 of them do. I have to turn my volume up much higher for your show than any other, and I listen and the sound is a bit more tinny. Well, that's because we're sometimes recording in a kitchen. Yeah. Sometimes we're in the basement. Yeah. Sometimes we're at my house. Mm-hmm. Not sure if this is something that can be toggled with during the editing process, but I figured I would reach out to share. It doesn't bother me much, but sometimes I struggle to hear what is being said, and that sucks because I love hearing what you two have to say, and I love that you love to hear that. Thanks a bunch for taking the time to make the show and fill me and many other listeners with your laughter. You both kick ass. Thank you, Mary Beth.
Thank you.
So, because we don't make any money on the podcast and nobody's getting paid, you are getting as bottom of the barrel as you can get for as little money as you could scrape up to make this. Yep. I do understand what you're saying because I often in my own car have this at max and can't, and because I listen to us repeatedly. And if I'm on say I was on a train or something, and I have had more than one person come up to me and say it's very hard to hear us. Mm-hmm. So you want to start sending in money, we'll buy some better equipment. But until that happens, we are now sitting on the microphones and hopefully it'll make it a little better. I think since we've been recording in the basement, it's been a little bit better.
Yeah. And Mike has also told us that for the last 100 episodes that we need to put our face on the microphones.
Yeah, it's not Mike's fault.
And we've ignored him.
It's 100% our fault because there's a couch down here and if I'm recording from the couch, I lean back and I get comfortable and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Maybe you should bring your office chair that you want.
My brand new office chair. I gave it to Brian. Oh. Because I don't have an office.
No.
I don't even have a
desk.
I don't have a laptop. I just have my phone. I do everything on my phone.
God.
And if I can't, I have to go to work and do it. Okay. We had a couple more emails come in. Did you want to read a couple of them?
Yeah. This one starts.
She just whips it up.
Hey, ladies. I have been listening to the podcast for years now.
Oh, I love that sound.
I know. And it remains one of the funniest podcasts I listen to.
I love that too.
You mentioned the reality that we need more nurses in the industry, and I actually just took a beginner course in trying to change my career in that direction.
Oh, good for you.
I think I'm a little more inclined to be a medical sales rep or even a compliance specialist, though. Do you have any stories or recommendations along that line? Thank you both for the episodes. Charlie. So,
Tough.
yeah, I know. I don't really know anything about sales reps.
I don't either.
I
I
know
a lot of our surgical technicians become sales reps.
Yes. And I know the sales reps we've had for a million years.
Yeah.
They all seem to be successful in their jobs.
I know they work off commission for
Yeah.
every plate and screw they sell.
Yeah.
They make money off of it. And I know you're working off commission. I also know if there's a spine at 2 a.m.,
Yeah,
you're there at 2 a.m. as well.
Right.
If it's a facial fracture and that's your system, you're there whenever that is.
Mhm.
You're on call to that doctor all the time.
Right.
So I almost think it's a little harder than if you were, say, a nurse or a tech, because
Yeah, you work your
your
shift. and
hours
that's-
or whenever that system is being used
Mhm.
with whatever surgeon.
you
So I
need to
think-
be available.
Yeah, and you need to know that stuff inside and out
Right.
because they don't know how to use it, and you need to tell them how to use it.
Right. And it's nice because you're like an expert at what you do, and it's not really patient care.
It was nicer back in the day when we got a lot of like
Lunches.
gifts from them.
Yeah.
We got lunches and parties, and
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started, they had 2 chief ortho residents, and every 6 months they would switch, and the reps would give you the party,
Mm-hmm.
and it was always this like throwdown, kick-ass party.
Yeah.
For the new guys going out. I mean, the old guys going out, the new guys coming in.
Right.
So I do miss those days.
It was nice when they could shower you with gifts,
yeah,
but
now that
it's
why
so
did they make
it's
them stop?
it's not moral. It's like
ethics.
you know, like
ethics
if
have fucked up
ethics. It's we're paying you, we're giving you this stuff, so then you're using our system. That's not.
everything.
You should use the system because it's the right system to use.
Whatever.
It was fun when they had parties, but I don't know. I mean, it's a good career.
Yeah.
You have to know your stuff.
And a compliance officer, I would assume you have to be a nurse or a doctor or something to. I'm not really sure what they do unless they're making sure you're following procedure. Like, is that like JACO's compliance?
I'm assuming, yeah. I don't know. We'll have to ask.
I think you
can
in
look
the
into
field.
it.
Yeah, we'll look into it for you. Maybe down the road we'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, the medical field is desperado right now.
Yeah, everybody needs.
We just got like a couple of more notices where we work. I'm like, we have bleeding staff.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Yep.
It's real bad. We've talked about it in the nurse burnout episode. It's bad.
So they need people in every job. So if you're interested in something, go do it because they need them every
So,
job.
You know,
So.
we're bleeding staff, and Laura and I are doing TikToks down the hallway.
Yeah. It's great. It's great.
La 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 la.
Yeah.
Just ignoring it like there's no problems at all.
Everything's fine. Everything's good.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
You got another one?
Yeah. So this says, hey, you both. I just heard the burnout episode and am livid.
Yeah, tell me about it.
No one should have to take that abuse. I have been a nurse for nearly 40 years, 24 years in the OR. I have stepped up and defended new staff to prevent the very stuff she and you both were talking about, sometimes with mixed results depending on the whole situation. Now I'm a clinical instructor getting a DMP. Ho-hum, I know. I watch nurses
what
eating
else?
their young or who are totally burnt all the time. That young nurse from Georgia should have sued the hospital or
Yep.
contacted the police.
Yep.
It is the extreme response, but so is that behavior. It's abuse and is against the law. Go after the abuser. Do it once, and that hospital will never ignore or laugh at this again. Thanks again, Laurie Aaron.
So that made me think of how we got heated on some episodes.
Yeah.
And one of the episodes, that one, it was just recent.
It's infuriating.
It set me off.
So I sit down today with my friends, and I'm sitting there, and my friend Kylie's sitting next to me, and she's like, I just listened to the burnout episode, and I'm like, yeah, and she's like, I cannot believe that stuff happens. I am so upset that's like, she was like,
And that happens
I am
less
shocked.
now. I mean, it's still happening, but not like it used to.
Right.
It doesn't downgrade what happened to her, but it was prevalent before.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's still pretty bad.
I've never seen anything like that.
No, but
Like
I mean,
that
even
girl.
just any of the nurse bullying and
Yes, but I'm
The-
talking that particular case.
oh my
I
god, no,
haven't-
that was
I've never witnessed anything like that.
That's
that was
up. I mean,
horrific.
she should have gone to the police for that lady. That
Yeah.
was insane. Listen to the nurse bullying burnout episode if you didn't, to find out what we're talking about.
Yeah.
This poor girl went through hell.
It was a great one. And the other episode I was thinking is the vaccine one. Now, we did the vaccine one, which was polio and flu.
Uh-huh.
And that was before COVID came out.
Yeah.
And we were like losing our shit. Oh, people not getting the flu. Then COVID hits.
Yeah.
And now this whole big vaccine, like, I'm not going to get into it again.
Yeah.
Because this episode isn't going to be about us losing our shit over vaccines. But I just had I was thinking this on the way over, and one of my girlfriends was like, I was supposed to go to breakfast with them a couple of weeks ago, and I was getting a head cold. And she's like, well, I haven't been vaccinated. So, I'm just nervous, because my mom and this and that. And I'm thinking, like, but did you not get vaccinated because you didn't believe in them?
Right.
Because if you didn't believe in them and they don't work, then why
why
would you
worry?
care if I show
Right.
up or not? Because you don't think it works anyway.
Right.
Or maybe she just wasn't ready. I don't know. I'm not going to judge why she didn't get her vaccine. That's on her. But somebody recently was like, I don't know. It was somebody that knows me well.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, I don't know where you are in vaccines. And they assume because I lean conservative that I am like, nope, no, I'm not getting vaccinated.
Right.
I'm like, I 100% behind vaccines.
Right.
If they're going to vaccinate me for anything, I'm going to be right in line to get it. So I don't fall on the same party line.
Right.
So, and they were like, oh, well, I don't believe them. I'm like, well, that's on you.
fine.
But I'm vaccinated. Every one of my kids is vaccinated. And I'm going wherever the hell I feel like going.
Right.
COVID was a big hit. It was hard recording through COVID and trying to
it's a pain in
stay
the ass.
upbeat when I wanted to just blow my brains out.
Yeah. It was bad.
It was hard.
It was really bad.
You want to hear some tinny episodes? It's the ones doing the Zoom.
Zoom episodes. It was awful.
Yeah, I got Vienna in the background. I think we were doing the STD. Or we were doing some sexual episode. Why is she in here with me? But I needed her desk. It's her room. I'm like, oh.
God damn it.
Oh my God.
Stupid
Since we've
COVID.
started, we've had COVID. My brother passed away. My aunt moved in. I almost murdered her.
Yeah.
She's now moved out. She's been in the assisted living a year.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. We went to Ireland,
Yeah.
Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Twice.
It is crazy.
We went from nights to evenings.
I know we were on nights,
When we
right?
started.
When we started. Yeah.
We were on nights when we started. And I was being held hostage after you left.
Yeah.
And then now we're doing staff development.
Another shock.
Yeah.
Another shock.
People listen to me. they think I know
It's
something.
bizarre. Like they come up all day and ask questions. I'm like,
Yeah.
you.
Most of the time,
Us?
I'm texting Laura, like, what are we supposed to do with this? Laura, I don't know where this is.
Am I doing this right?
Yeah, I'm terrible.
It's weird.
Yeah, so we're 100 episodes in.
What do you think? What do you think the best thing about doing this was?
I learned a lot.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I learned a ton of. I learned stuff. My favorite part of this episode of doing all this is the emails. I love hearing back that I feel like I'm not just talking to you and Mike and that there's actually people listening, that they're actually enjoying, because we joke a lot, but we do put work into this. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it might sound like we don't, but we
have
do.
a homework assignment
Yeah.
already ready for the next 2 episodes. We got some good episodes coming up. And we research it, and I spend, 2 days writing up what I want to say, and I want to make sure it's hard because all the research is coming from the internet, and you hope what you're giving out is correct information.
Yeah.
I'm combining with just personal experience.
Right.
But when I get emails back, oh my God, I love this podcast. We love talking to you. And then you tell us a story about you or give us ideas on what to write. I mean, I love it. That's my favorite. Every time Mike dings me, oh, is this an email? And I get so excited,
I know.
I was hoping we would be big enough someday that I'm getting like 15 a day, but we're not there yet.
They're more.
They're more. They're definitely coming in more frequently. Yeah. And I hope, when from the nursing students, like, oh yeah, I want to do this. And now we're doing, we're beefing up the reels. We're beefing up the Instagram. We're hearing from more people.
Yeah.
And so I love hearing I just love the feedback.
Yeah. No,
That's
I like
my
that
favorite. Too. Absolutely gets me so excited.
Yeah.
And it makes it worth it.
Yeah. I think the thing I like most surprised about is how much I learn.
Yes.
Like literally every time, like, oh shit, I know that. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. Like, it's just
when we were doing the Middle Ages, and you're like, Nostradamus was 14 and he was a doctor. It's like, what?
I know.
What? How did I never know that?
Yeah. It's just
crazy.
literally every episode I'm learning.
Yeah. The
something.
Katrina.
Yeah.
All the,
that was,
you know,
I mean, you knew it was bad. I had no idea it was that
ignorance
bad.
is bliss. You know,
Yeah.
we were up in the Northeast. Oh, yeah, they had another hurricane. Oh, yeah, it flooded. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it
it's
always
bad.
floods down there.
Something's
It's
going
like-
on down there. But,
Yeah.
you know, you see people on roofs, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on down there?
Mhm.
And then to read it.
Mhm.
And if you listen to that episode, it was based on the book 5 Days at Memorial. Fabulous read. Like, I hate that word, but it was a fantastic read.
Fab.
Fabulous. It was fabulous. I remember my cousin got married, and I was like 8. And she was very she. And she's going through all the wedding gifts, and her wedding party was something. And every single thing she picked up, oh, this is fabulous. Look at this vase. Fabulous. And at 8, I was like, you're a douche in my head.
Wow.
Everything was fabulous. Fabulous. So I fucking hate that word. I'm sorry. There's many words I hate. Fabulous is one of them.
I'm going to start saying it all the time.
Yeah. But you got to say it that fabulous.
Yeah, obviously.
Fabulous.
Obviously.
So, it's a great book, and that story just was horrific. And I just remember putting it down and being like, I cannot believe, I don't think I could have worked like that. I don't know what I would have done if that happened to us.
I think you would have done it.
I think the closest that ever happened in this area was the blizzard of 78. People were stranded at the hospital for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but it wasn't like...
You could still leave.
It wasn't 900 degrees and the water was
Right.
crawling down the walls. And I mean,
No,
it was
but
just...
they ran out of food.
Right.
You couldn't get any deliveries in. You know, they were hot bunking at people who lived in the area, but at least they could leave the building. They
Yeah.
couldn't go home, but they could leave the building.
Right.
No, it was 10 times worse, so the closest thing we could get was the blizzard of 78, but I can't fathom that. Imagine
No.
the fucking smell of that.
I know,
place.
that's all I could think the whole time. The smell. I cannot fathom that smell.
And then the choices they had to make with patient care. You really have to read that fabulous book. Fabulous.
Fabulous.
And you know how I was like, the Everest episode, I got obsessed with all that. I had never heard the Andy story. I told you, I had heard of it.
Yeah.
I never heard the details of
I
it.
know. I'm surprised by that.
I know.
It's
'Cause
like
you
one
know
of those
how I am
things you
into all
would
the
know.
weird shit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The Donna Party. Reading that book.
Yeah. That was...
Oh, that was one of my favorites too. I loved the Donna Party.
Yeah.
And I did not even come close to doing it justice to the book. I think it was The Indifferent. I gave the wrong title of the book the entire episode.
Oh, good.
I think it's The Indifferent Stars Above, and I kept saying The Indeterminate. I don't even know what that means. It was The Indifferent Stars Above. That was a fucking great book too. That wasn't even fabulous because it's all about the Donna Party. It was just fucking great.
No, it wasn't fabulous.
So I always, I'm always looking for something to write about or to talk about.
Yeah.
And so when I hear these stories, I'm like, ooh, that'd be good for the podcast. I'm constantly like, write this down. Idea. Because I'll be in the car. I'm like, write this down. Idea. Here's an idea. I don't know if it ever gets written down, but it's all somewhere in the cloud.
Yeah.
All my thoughts, my
yeah.
random thoughts about
They come out
episodes.
eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in the beginning when we first started this, I really would like to have heard from like first responders and police and fire because they got some crazy stories too.
Mm-hmm.
EMTs. I still want to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
And I'd still love to hear all your stories.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'll just do an episode on what all you guys do. Like, EMTs, people don't really realize the difference between an EMT versus a paramedic
Right.
and what they're actually dealing with.
Yeah.
And so maybe we'll do that. But I'd love to hear some of their stories. They got some
Yeah, they got
crazy
wild
shit.
stories.
Yeah. Because they're in the house,
Yeah. I
Um,
couldn't do that because I can't go into people's dirty houses.
Oh, I loved it. I loved every second I did it.
You know,
Well, not
I-
every second.
I
but
can't do it. I can't go into people's dirty
when the guy
houses.
vomited in the back of the truck. Did I tell you that story?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was disgusting. I don't do vomit. And I
You-
think everybody threw up the last 2 weeks. I gave my 2 weeks notice. Every patient threw up. I was like, and I'm good.
Yeah.
And I'm
And
good.
this is why
don't
I
wanna
gave
ever
it.
do this again.
Yeah.
It's sloshing in the wheel well.
Ah,
Fuck. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
No. I mean, not that would be pleasant, but it's more being like, oh God, please let this house be, please let this house be. Like, I just can't do it. When I was in nursing school and we had to go, like,
The VNA.
do VNA. Oh my God. I wanted to cry every day. I think, what did I have to do it for 2 weeks? I literally was like, I can't do this anymore.
I went to one house in a housing project.
Uh-huh.
And I got to the door, and when we opened the door, the cockroaches scattered.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't go in. I literally stood on my toes at the threshold, and I was like, okay, would you come out here? Come on out here. We'll come take a look at you out here. And they're like, are you sure? I'm positive I'm not coming in. Come on out.
Yeah.
And even then, I took the shoes, I disinfected them in the hall, and I'm like,
I mean, someone has to do it. Those people are saints. I am not made for that. I am not made for that. And the woman I was with was very nice and wonderful to her patients. But like, she'd go in and I'm like, oh God, this house is, I'm a nut. Like, I know I'm insane, but I'm like, and she'd like sit down, be like, oh, you want a piece of pie? She's like, yeah. And eat I'm like, Mo, you can't eat the food here. And they're like, do you want? I'm like, no, I'm good. Thank you. I already ate. I'm fine. I brushed my teeth. I don't want to eat. Oh my God. But like, she was wonderful. And thank God there's people who are like that. Because that's why I work in an operating room. Everything is, I know it's sterile. It's clean. It's sterile. It's clean. I'm good. I
could never do DNA. I could not do it. I could not do it. I could not.
The smell of people's houses.
I could handle the house because I had done EMT, but safety of it. I was doing DNA in a rough city. Yeah. And I go in one house, we're looking at this guy, and then like 10 minutes later, 3 people come out that you didn't even know in the house. Right. I was like, oh, yeah, nope, no, I'm not going to be alone doing this.
Yeah, it's very scary.
It's scary.
Yeah.
They deal with some shit. So yeah, that's where we're at. 100 episodes later, I think we're up to what did I say? 130,000 downloads? Yeah. Let's crank that up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's crank it up.
I mean, pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. Took us 4 years, but I'll take it. Like I said, 7 episodes, most people pod fade.
And and I don't get that. So do people just like run out of, like they just get tired of doing it?
I think you work involved. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, we got Mike. Thank you, Mike, who does all the work. Yeah. I could never do. And these people are trying to edit in their closets and shit. I mean, you see She Podcast, they're constantly, who do I do for this? How do I do this? What do I do? And I think people get burnt and they just don't want to do it. Yeah. It's not worth it. Or it's not what they think you're going to instantaneously be famous and you're going to instantaneously make a ton of money. Yeah. If you're going to say anything to somebody starting a podcast, you're in it for the long haul because it takes a long time. I mean, we got like 100 listens. We were like, oh, look at this. It's taken us 4 years to get 130,000. Right. And that compared to some of the other podcasts. That's nothing. But somebody was asking me the other night, I'm like, these big podcasts, these people are in the industry. My Favorite Murder, she wrote for Ellen. Mm-hmm. The other one did like food TV. Yeah. Joe Rogan, he's Joe Rogan. Will Ferrell, he's Will Ferrell. Like they all have, or they were in the business, or the comedians. Small Town Murder, they're both comedians. They're already in the business. Right. They have talent agents. They have people who
they have people who know how to break them out.
Yeah. These people are huge out of the gate, but they already have an audience going. Right. So we've been building an audience from literally nothing. Mm-hmm. And we're averaging probably about 1,500 to 2,000 an episode. Yeah. From 5. Right. Right.
I think it's pretty good.
It just keeps going up and I'll take it. Yeah. I'll take it. And, someday I'd love to even just tour the nursing schools and do a little show for the nursing students, Oh
my God.
Laura, you're getting out there. I'm going to Teresa Caputo you. I'm going to give you the blonde wig. We're going to both be in black sequin dresses.
Oh, I definitely want sparkles.
Oh, you're getting, we're going to all have sparkles. I'm going to have a brown version of your blonde.
Okay.
How funny would that be?
Just full wigs.
With those really long nails. Yeah. Scavozza nails.
my nails are getting there. I got to like.
Nothing. I mean, her nails are like 3 inches long.
I know.
All I think of is bacteria.
I know.
Skivotz. That's all I can say.
Well, she doesn't take care of people. Like, she's not,
She has to wipe her ass.
They do
She has to brush her teeth.
Did you ever see that? They do it like sideways.
I'm not doing it still. There's still fecal matter somewhere in there. I'll bet you if that shit's going to grow.
They wrap.
I'll bet you there's still fecal. That's tissue paper is not waterproof.
I know.
All right? Shit's getting in those nails. Ugh. Food's getting under there. Ugh. She's scratching her head. There's all that hairspray in there, so that's all under your nails. Mm-hmm. Digging in her ears or something.
Why? No.
Oh, because she's doing. You got it's like a tool. It's like
tools. A tool.
They're like tools. Click, 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 click. There's that guy on TikTok. He cracks me up. This is black guy, and he mimics women. And he mimics this woman who works at McDonald's, and she's always got these nails. And he's like, "Hey, it's McDonald's. Can I take you out, please?" I could watch him all day long. Yeah. It just cracks me up.
And he's chewing gum.
Yeah, and he's always got the nails. Click, 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 click. And he is hysterical. He makes me laugh. So yeah, well, Teresa Caputo the nails. I could never stand for a 2-hour show in her shoes.
I don't know how she's.
I would be in tears.
Yeah, I don't know how she does that.
So I might get a nice, comfortable pair of sparkly sneakers.
Oh God, help me. Okay.
I'm going to be that lady. You know that. Yeah. My Easy Spirits. Sparkly Easy Spirits.
I can't wait.
For our first show. I'll wear some sparkly ready or Easy Spirits.
Oh, boy.
All right. So keep writing to us. Yeah. Keep sending us ideas. We've got some good things coming up. We're going to cover those court cases, those 2 nurses.
Yeah.
And maybe even more, because I remember the old Dana-Farber case.
Yeah.
I'd like to maybe
Go back.
honorably mention that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Nurses. I was speaking to one of the surgeons, and he was like, "I'll talk on your podcast because you guys get the shaft every time." I'm like, "Yeah, we do. It always falls on nurses.
It's always on the nurses."
So we're going to talk about that. So if you've listened to this episode, give us your opinion on. One of them was the jail nurse who the correctional officers were. The correctional officer did not get blamed, and she did, and that's in the news. You can look it up. And the woman who was just convicted for the drug mistake. So if you've got opinions on that or anything, send them in. We'll read them on that episode.
I feel like that might be another heated episode.
Oh, it's going to get heated.
Because it makes me heated just speaking to people about it or hearing people say stuff about it, being like, well, she made it terrible. And I'm like, okay, if you don't think you could do that when people are interrupting you, and you hurry up, grab it, let's go. I'm talking to this patient needs that, blah, blah, blah.
Next to the other, so you're not really looking, you just click and you think you've clicked one, you actually click the other, you picked it up, and yes, I mean, mistakes happen. It's medical practice.
Yes.
And
if you think you can't make that mistake, then you should get the hell out of nursing because you absolutely can.
Yep.
And that's when problems everybody can make.
Yep.
That
if it
mistake.
does anything, it's going to make you stop and look again, just to be careful, because now you can be held criminally responsible for it.
Yeah, that's awful.
It's shameful because she never intended to hurt anybody. And to put somebody criminally responsible, that's what it means. You intended to hurt them.
Yeah.
So we're not going to discuss it all in our 100th episode, but if you have any opinions on that, we would love to hear them. And summer series is around the corner. Yay! We'll take any opinions, etc. you have on that as well. Like I said.
Any requests?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to the water slide.
Because
we just had the amusement park kid.
Yeah.
He was another one.
Yeah.
So we're going to rehash some of that stuff.
Right.
That poor kid.
I know.
I had to watch this
You're a
stupid
sick
video.
person. You're a sick person.
Fuck. There literally is something wrong with me because I'll watch it every time.
She texts me and says, I just watched that video of the kid dying on the amusement park ride and now I can't sleep. I'm like, why? Why would you do? Why would you ever?
I'm sick.
That's a sick thing to do.
I rewound it and watched it again.
There's something wrong with you.
And I would probably watch it again if you put it in front of me.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I wish I had an answer to that.
Oh my God.
I have a psychological problem.
No.
And I think it's passed on to my children.
God.
Because my someone was like, hey, Mom, look at this. I'm like, oh my
he
God.
He watched that?
I'm not even going to tell you some of the disturbing shit he's watched. I'm like, I mean, you can get anything you want on the internet. And he's mentioned one. And I'm like, no, I will not. That is where I draw the line. That's, no, I'm not going to watch
Oh, you have a line.
I do have a line.
Oh, good.
Mass shootings.
A 14-year-old falling off of a...
No,
not past the line.
Mass shootings, I have a line. You know what it is? I had to know what happened. That's more what it is. I have to know, how did that happen? And it felt better on the other side because I realized he didn't fall 400 feet and knew he didn't know what happened to him. And there's some comfort for me in that he had no idea what happened. Because he didn't have any time to register. Because at 400 feet, he would have known what was coming. Because, when they talk feet, people don't understand.
You're an insane person.
Do you remember when we talked about national parks? We were talking about national parks. And you talk about a kid who was a guide, and he fell 2,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for people to imagine 2,000 feet. The Freedom Tower in New York is 1,776 feet.
Right.
So he fell
further
taller
than that.
That another 300 feet than that. So when you're thinking of feet, every 10 feet is a story in a building.
Mm-hmm.
400 feet would have been 45 stories. That's a skyscraper.
Yeah.
So the thought of that kid falling off a skyscraper bothered me more than him falling 20 feet. Because, like I said, it
was over fast.
It was over fast.
Yeah.
So in my own sick, demented way, I was able to at least process what happened because it bothered me so much that he's on vacation. Like, all that, and I have a kid that age, like all of that just disturbed the shit out of me. I was like, well, at least I have to find some justification when I hear tragic stories. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean like, why did I listen to Tim Treadwell?
I don't know why you listened to that. You're a sick person.
Talk about fucking disturbing.
You're a sick person.
Yep. Listen to him. He's part of our grizzly bear stories.
Do not listen to it. He gets eaten alive by grizzly bears on tape. And
you can hear the whole thing.
Don't listen.
And I fucking listen to it.
Don't do it.
Because I'm a sick bastard. And I don't do it because I get pleasure out of it. Trust me. I don't know why.
No, you have a morbid curiosity.
I have a morbid curiosity. Yeah. And I don't know where that came from because my mother would never. Maybe it's my dad. He's a dark horse, that one.
Yeah. Quietly
He's
morbid.
very quietly morbid.
No,
Yeah.
my mother, absolutely not morbid. My mother doesn't even want to hear about this stuff.
Yeah, my mother wouldn't want to watch any of it.
No, she doesn't want to hear about the story. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
Yeah. I'm going to think about it all night. Don't tell me. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. And I'm like, let me listen to it. Yeah.
Oh, my God,
I'm a sick fuck.
You are. Anyway.
And that's why we like this show. Because I'm a sick fuck.
Yeah, it's great.
We have great ideas.
Yeah.
Don't want to party. Got to eat people. You know, we've done a couple episodes. People eating each
I
other.
know, it's gross.
I know.
So
Cannibalism.
gross.
Something about it. All right. So have a wonderful spring. I think this comes out before Easter, Passover. I don't know what's going on.
It comes out the day after Easter.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed your spring festivities. And Memorial Day's coming.
Almost
barbecues.
summer. Almost
sun.
summer.
I can't wait.
Yep. Beach.
Yep. And then my son leaves
I know.
5 weeks later.
And then mine does too.
Okay. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you for listening.
Like, subscribe, rate, and review the Scissors and Scrubs podcast on whatever podcast app you listen to us on. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Scissors and Scrubs. And email us any of your stories or thoughts to scissorsnscrubs@gmail.com.